Jim Richards leading. Dickie Johnson running in second spot, and now the second of the Nissan GTRs up to third with Mark Scaife. Pretty heady stuff this side by side through the sweeper. And Bow making a big run down the outside here. Has he got him? Yes, he has. We take our race cam to see John Bow. Takes Peter Brock. So Bow now advances to 7th in the pack after dropping back to 12th position in the field. Great drive from John Bow. Brock, in the meantime, continues on in the 05 car, and he's got Larry Perkins right behind him. Then the first of the Benson and Hedges cars is our race leader, Jimmy Richards.
Peter, just watching your footwork here, it's very interesting at the end. We can see the heel and toe and a bit of double to clutching down to first. Just explain your way around the circuit for us.
Okay, first gear here, half throttle now. Now I can flatten it. I'm in second gear. I'm going to rev limit to 7/8. Up to 4th now. I use all the road here to save the tyres. And you can see I'll get across the apex here. We're doing about 240 k, I suppose, at the moment. Brakes on now. Back to second now. I'm trying to use everything I can to stop. Well, the brakes are very good, but I'm trying to sort of maintain a bit of brakes towards the end of the race because, boy, it's the hardest race I've seen. Third gear around there. Up to here, brakes on, back to second, just let it float down, keep it straight, cross the apex, and don't oversteer here, which I'm trying very hard not to. And in second gear, third gear up here, fourth, and a little bit of fifth about now, and then put the brakes on and just hope we've got them all.
The second spot is about to be debated between Dickie Johnson and Mark Scaife. Scaife, of course, has made a huge run in the last couple of laps. And here he is closing on Dick Johnson as they come up to the hairpin. Been a tremendous performance from the young Central Coast driver after going off yesterday in what could have been an awful accident. Nissan team are back. They've rebuilt the car, started off the back. Here's second place. Scaife working down the outside of Dickie Johnson. The GTR goes through and takes second place away from Dick Johnson, who fights to keep the inside running for the next turn. Can he do it? Or will he let the GTR go? No, he'll fight for it probably. Side by side out of this turn, but the Nissan will get the power on much quicker. Came across the front of Dick as well.
Good scrap here with Colin Bond in the Caltex Ford Sierra being attacked by the BMW. Aren't they fabulous under brakes? Tony Longhurst goes through, and Longhurst doing again to the field what he did at Sandown, and that's just running consistently and picking them off one by one as they start to smoulder. Gee, wind's closed right up now on Johnson, who's probably starting to find himself running a little thin on rubber. The difficult thing with the Sierra is the tyres on the car are so narrow, and the car has so much horsepower, and there's a lot of real stop and go corners on this track which promote wheel spin on the exit, and the tyres do not like that as Dick locks up the rears and spins.
Yeah.
Locked up his rear brakes heading into the hairpin and backs around. He'll be cursing and swearing. Win Percy skates through to third place as Dick tries to do 100 mile an hour backwards.
Well, he's going to try and whip it around and then catch it again and get going.
Oh.
Well, if he had tyre problems before, I think he's...
That cooled him down.
I'll be happy when it's all over, Mark. It's been a pretty heavy weekend with Mark having an off yesterday in the car. But it's going well now and hope it keeps going that way.
And gee, got problems, Win Percy.
Yeah, just took third place, and here he is slowing down on the back straight.
We've now got Glenn Seaton molesting Dick Johnson.
Johnson's going for tyres.
Yep.
So Seaton to third, Johnson to the pits for some rubber. Percy stranded past the hairpin, and a real mixed bag. We've got Nissans clearing out from the pack. Yep.
Order is Richards over Scaife. Glenn Seaton now moving into third, and that would probably move Tony Longhurst up into fourth.
There you go, the BMs, they're doing it again.
Yep, he's put on a good show today. When Percy got the Holden up on the front row. Long walk back here at Symmons Plains to the pits.
So the Shell car splits the two mobile entries, and this is the battle for 6th, 7th and 8th. So the order, Jim Richards the leader from Mark Scaife. Glenn Seaton is in third, then Longhurst, Bond, and Dick Johnson passes Peter Brock to now move up into 5th. Brock is 6th, Perkins is 7th. Behind Perkins, Alan Jones 9th, Kevin Warlock 10th, John Bow coming back out of the pits and rejoining the fray. Then Mark Gibbs with Win Percy having retired, and there's the stricken car number 16 car off to the side of the road. coming up to 49 minutes of racing, so we're getting very close to checkered flag time.
We'll either have the checkered flag. These are timed races, 50-minute races. Depends how close they are to the 50-minute mark. This will either be the last corner or they'll have one more lap to go after this. Checkered flag time, we believe. 1-2 at Symmons Plains for the Nissan GTR team as they take first and second in round number 2. A fantastic 1-2 as well, and I think all credit must go to Freddie Gibson, certainly to Mark Scaife today after the problems of yesterday, to come off the back of the field, dispense with the Sierras and then finish on the tail of his team leader Jim Richards in the run to the flag. And also great to see Glenn Seaton picking up a major placing third. That'll put him on the rostrum here today for the Peter Jackson team. Equally a fine performance from Tony Longhurst finishing in 4th, and Dick Johnson will show in the 5th spot.
Similar tracks really, the first 2 rounds, Sandown and Symmons, but from here on in, tight and twisty stuff. The BMs will be looking good.
They will, as you know, as Tony was sort of keeping up with me towards the end, and that wasn't because I was letting him. That was because our car had done the job and the tyres were getting a bit, a bit second hand. And so come the shorter tracks,